Okay, this is part two of our short interview with Brother Chris, and there's something very important for everybody who decides to accept Islam or consider Islam to get to know about, and this is the experience or the transition period at the beginning when the person accepts Islam. This transition may be a little bit hard for some or most of the people. So we need some advices from you. Give us your experience and how did you make it through this challenging period?
I think the hardest part about coming into Islam is leaving behind the life you used to have and meeting new friends within the Islamic community. You go into it with certain expectations. Other people have certain expectations of you. There's a lot of people who are at the masjid who are not really looking out for... There's a lot of people who do, but there's some people who aren't really looking out for the new brother, and they kind of give you a weird look, and it's really hard becoming accepted into Islam. And I think if I could have done it again, the one thing that's just so important is consistency. Is if you can make it to the masjid once a day, that's so helpful because people see your face, they talk to you, they see you all the time, and when you have a new brother, and I've witnessed a couple shahads, and there's been one brother who took the shahad and I never saw him again. And there was another brother who took the shahad and he comes every other day, if not every third day, and he's quickly becoming accepted in the community. He took Arabic with me, and it's kind
Here in our masjid or there in Athens?
In Athens.
Mm-hmm.
And I think really getting involved is really important. And it's hard at first because you're not... you don't know any people there, you may not know anyone there, but I think...
Consistency is important.
Consistency is important, and just kind of...
Maybe some patience, you need some patience because it's a new experience. And
yeah.
Okay, we're busy now. I'll be with you in a few minutes, okay? Okay, let's continue that.
Okay. Yeah.
So, how is like a Muslim seen in the college, like a Muslim student in the college? Do you identify yourself as being Muslim in the college?
Yeah, I think it depends a lot. I think kind of with me, a lot of people, I've done lots of like trips where people meet me, and every time I say like, oh, I'm gonna go pray, like, you're a Muslim? Like, but there's other brothers who, and I was talking to someone in the car on my way up, and they're like, so afraid to put their feet in the sink when they're making the wudu, and they're like, everyone's like looking at them and giving them weird looks, and so I think the experience is kind of mixed, but I think it's really important to have a strong community, because if you're getting weird looks from everybody, but you've got a friend right next to you and they're doing the same thing, it's okay. Like, So
you're saying that maybe many, if not most, of Americans, what is the feeling they get when they see a Muslim? Is it like they have some misconceptions about Islam, they don't know what is that, or they have some wrong thoughts in their minds about it, or how is it seen for them? Because you are a reflection of Islam. You used to be in the middle of that, society, and everybody's around you, and you become Muslim. So that is like a test for the perception of these people about Islam. How did you see that perception?
I think I just always thought it was kind of weird. I remember not seeing many Muslims like smiling. I consider myself to be something of a goofy person, and I was like always serious, like not talking to anybody, like long beards and like hats and like kind of weird clothes, and it's like, what are they doing? But when you get to, it's really cool when you get to know people, you realize that, and especially it's kind of helpful to know when you're coming into Islam that, there's not like Islamic people and then like normal people. Like Islamic people are just like the people you knew before. They're fun, they're friendly,
They are American, they do everything that they do, but
they want like
the good things, only the good things.
Yeah, like they want to have fun, like they're not gonna like, sit at home all day, like,
So what was in like, if you can say one or two things that are the most prominent things that attracted you to Islam?
I think the number one thing was the proofs in like the Quran, with like the embryo, and I think one of the number one things was there was a lot of things in the Quran that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam couldn't have known about, like what was in the embryo, how the earth was made, like
scientific facts.
Yeah, a lot of scientific facts, and that was one thing. And the other thing is that it all made a lot of sense to me. Like each person is responsible for their deeds. There's like a merciful God that's, you know, all knowing and powerful, and it's kind of like it's His will that matters, and so yeah.
So things are understandable.
Yeah, it
making
made
sense.
It made sense. Like I didn't have to like, you know, convince myself that 3 equals 1. It was, you know, 1 equals 1. It all, you know, from the very first man, Allah was, you know, kind of gave Adam, you know, like this is, you know, I'm your God, you worship me, and continually updated the message, and now there's the Quran, which hasn't changed since the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam brought it down, and it's like it all just makes, it all fits. So
the message is so clear.
Yeah.
The message is from God, clear, talking about Himself. Nothing is hard. It makes sense for anybody who wants to understand, who wants to get the message.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, the other side of it, what was the most challenging factor after you accepted Islam? Being an American, living in the United States.
I think I was just afraid of what my family was going to say.
Mm-hmm.
I heard a couple stories of people kicking their wife out of the house, or not the wife out of the house, the wife kicking them out of the house, you know, kids getting kicked out of the house, and like I was afraid that my mom like might never talk to me again, and it was all this stuff, but alhamdulillah.
I think you overcome that. This period has gone now, I guess.
Yeah.
Or maybe most of it.
I think it's pretty much gone. I can comfortably ask my dad for a prayer break, and he's like totally okay with it. I come back, it's not awkward. Like pick up right back where we left off, and so.
Okay, so personally or generally speaking, what are the few things that Islam, or the most important thing that Islam gives to you?
I think one thing I really like about it is the 5 prayers. It helps you to get away from the daily distractions and worries, and it helps you to focus on the things that really matters, and I think that is really important. And I think another thing is that it gives you a really strong sense of community, kind of getting involved. I wasn't involved with the church or anything, and so kind of getting into the Islamic community, having people that I could come to at any point in the day, they'd be happy to see me. So.
Okay, now the last part of this video, I will ask you to send 2 messages. The first message is to Westerners or Americans in general, or non-Muslims in general. What would you say? What would you tell them about Islam as a person who used to be non-Muslim and then he decided to accept Islam, to revert to Islam by his own free will? What is that message that you would give to these people?
I think the number one message is that we're not very different from you. It's, you know, there's like a lot of weird looks, and there's this like Judeo-Christian versus Islam, and it's not really Judeo-Christian versus Islam, it's Judeo-Christian and Islam. You know, like a lot of the things are.
To the second message, what is the message that you give for Muslims in general?
Welcome new brothers as much as you can.
Only brothers?
And sisters as much as you can.
Okay.
Because that transition step is really hard.
Okay. That was very nice, taking part of this video with you, Chris, and maybe inshallah in the future we get more sessions, inshallah. Okay, thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi.